Hey there, welcome to MakerTech Workshop. So you got your first laser engraver over the holidays and you've got it all set up and ready to go. I'm guessing you're probably pretty eager to start making some things, but also probably thinking, I don't want to mess this up on day one. Well, you're in the right place. I'm Tim and I run a laser engraving business here in North Carolina. And today I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know to run your first successful project safely. Now look, I remember firing up my first machine. I was so eager to just start burning stuff. But trust me, taking 20 minutes to understand the basics will save you hours of frustration and potentially keep you from damaging your new machine, or more importantly, keeping you safe. And hey, if you're serious about getting good at this, hit that subscribe button right now. I'm going to be putting out weekly tutorials, in-depth machine reviews, and real-world projects that'll take you from complete beginner to confident maker. Don't miss out. So let's dive in. All right, before we fire this thing up, we need to talk safety. I know, you just want to start making some cool stuff, but laser engravers involve actual lasers and fire, so we're going to start here. First thing, eye protection. Depending on what type of laser you have, you might need specific safety glasses. Check your manual. Some enclosed machines like the xTool S1 have built-in protection, but if you've got an open frame diode laser, you absolutely need wavelength specific safety glasses. Second, ventilation. This is huge. When you're engraving or cutting, you're creating smoke and fumes. Some materials release nasty stuff when they're lasered. At minimum, you want a window with a fan. Better yet, get a proper exhaust system or air filtration. Never run your laser in a closed room with no airflow. Third, fire safety. Yes, you're literally burning materials with a focus beam of light. Keep a fire extinguisher handy and never, I mean never, leave your laser running unattended. I don't care if it's a 30-second job or a 5-minute job, stay in the room. And finally, you need to know what materials are safe to cut. Never ever laser PVC or vinyl because it releases chlorine gas that can kill you or destroy your machine. No polycarbonate, no ABS plastic. Stick with some basics like wood, acrylic, and cardboard when you're first starting out. All right, safety covered. Now let's talk about actually using this thing. You've probably already installed your software, whether that's Lightburn, xTool Studio, xTool Creative Space, or whatever came with your machine. If not, pause this video and go grab the latest version from your manufacturer's website. Don't use the USB drive that may have come in the box because that software is probably already outdated. Let me show you the basics here. Today, we'll be using xTool Studio, which works best with the xTool S1 laser that I'm using to demonstrate this project. I use Lightburn for most of my work, so stay tuned for some tips and techniques for Lightburn soon. Regardless of what software you're using, you should see some similarities. You've got your workspace where you design or import your image. You've got your material settings here where you can specify what material that you're using. And that will tell the laser how fast to move and how much power to use. And you've also got your connection to the machine up here. The most important thing when starting out is getting your material settings right. Your manufacturer probably has a material settings library built right into the software. Use it. Don't just guess at settings yet. Because one of the common mistakes I see with beginners is they might think more power is better, right? It's not. Because too much power can just burn right through your material or leave it looking scorched, while too little power might not cut through your material completely. So start with those recommended settings and adjust from there once you've got some experience. And look, I'm going to be doing some detailed reviews of different laser machines, comparing settings, capabilities, and real-world performance. If you want those deep dives, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss them. Make sure you're connected to your machine. Usually it's either via USB or Wi-Fi. In this case, I can go into my device settings here and click on the Wi-Fi network, and I'll see that my machine is here so I can select it to connect. If you've got a camera in your laser, you probably are going to see it on your workspace here, and that will let you position your design exactly where you want it on your material. Before we run our first project, let's talk about focusing. This is absolutely critical. Your laser needs to be the proper distance from the material. Too close or too far, and your cuts will be terrible. Blurry edges, incomplete cuts, all sorts of problems. Now, different machines have different focusing methods. Some use a simple manual focusing tool like this, which can be a piece of plastic or metal, and you manually will adjust the laser head distance from the material. Others have autofocus capability, which is a game changer. Some lasers, for example, like the xTool S1, have an autofocus system that uses a distance sensor that attaches to the laser head, along with a visible red cross laser for pinpoint positioning. It takes all the guesswork out of focusing. If you have a machine with autofocus, you'll attach the positioning tool to the laser module. You'll see that red cross laser appear on your material. Then, in your software, like xTool Creative Space or xTool Studio, you just click the autofocus button and the machine does the rest. Watch as it automatically measures and adjusts to the perfect distance. It's incredibly accurate and saves so much time. For machines with manual focus, you put your material in, lower the laser head until the focusing tool just touches, then remove the tool. Either way, you need to focus every single time you change materials or material thickness. Let's talk materials for your first projects. I recommend starting with cardboard or basswood. They're cheap, they cut easily, and if you mess up, who cares? Once you're comfortable, move on to better plywood, acrylic, then leather. Now, one thing I'll be doing on this channel is comprehensive material testing across different machines. What works best on diode lasers versus CO2 lasers, optimal settings for different brands and materials, all that nerdy stuff. So if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time. Keep your materials flat. Warped wood or bent cardboard will give you inconsistent results because parts of it are out of focus. Use tape or clamps if you need to. All right, the moment of truth, your first laser project. And you know what it's going to be? A simple square on a piece of cardboard. Not a detailed dragon, not a family photo, a square. Here's why. You're testing that everything works, you're learning how your machine moves, and you're getting a feel for the process without wasting some expensive material or spending hours on something that might fail. Put your cardboard in the machine. Focus it using whatever method your machine has, whether that's the autofocus feature or your manual focusing tool. Make sure it's flat and positioned where you want your design. In your software, create a simple square. Let's go to Shapes, pick Rectangle. Usually you have to hold down the Shift key and draw it out. We're going to make it 2 by 2. So come over to your width, type in 2 and hit Tab. Proportional aspect ratio is locked, so it automatically did that for us. Now we're going to click Engrave, because for our first project, we're going to engrave, not cut. And now we need to pick our material. So we come over to Material, click here, and we're going to look for cardboard in here. So we come up to Search and type cardboard, and we see corrugated cardboard. That's what I've got that will work well. So I click on that, and then I click Apply. And what happens is it will change our material settings here, making our power and speed adjustments for our machine, which in this case is the xTool S1. And we're going to get ready. Once we position this artwork where we want it in relation to the laser pointer head of the S1, we're going to get set to process that. Once we are happy with where it is, we're going to click on Process. And then we have to click on Start. It sends the file over, and we have to go to the machine and press the power button to start it. Here we go. Double check your focus. make sure your ventilation's running. Do you have a fire extinguisher nearby? Great. Now let's press the button to start and watch it work. Would you look at that? You're a laser operator now. Watch how the laser moves. See the smoke? That's totally normal. That's why we have ventilation. And also see how it follows the path that you designed. Listen to the sound. It should be smooth and consistent. And there you go, your first laser project. It's just a square on a piece of cardboard, but you've learned the entire workflow. Design, material prep, focusing, running the job. Everything else you do with this machine is just building on those basics. So where do you go from here? Start simple and build your skills. Try engraving a simple design on a slate coaster. Try your hand at a tumbler if you've got a rotary attachment. Maybe cut a couple of layers of wood and do some painting, or even cut a wooden ornament for Christmas. Every project teaches you something. Join online communities. There are fantastic Facebook groups, Reddit communities like r/laser cutting, forums where people share designs, settings, and troubleshooting help. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We all started exactly where you are right now. Here's my best advice. Experiment with settings. Once you've done a few projects with the recommended settings, try adjusting the power by 5 or 10%. Try adjusting the speed. Keep notes on what works the best. You really need to experiment because that's how you're going to learn the true capabilities of your machine. Because if you ask in the forums online, hey, what settings do you use? Well, it can really depend on what's going to work best. Environmental factors like humidity and where you're located in terms of altitude, the type of material that you're using, the color, those are all variants that can affect the outcomes of your projects. So just really experiment and have fun. And speaking of different machines, I actually use 3 different lasers in my business. A 40-watt xTool S1 diode laser, a dual laser xTool F1, which has an infrared as well as a diode laser. This machine's portable and I can take it to events for on-site personalization. It's really handy. And I also have a Thunder Nova 130-watt CO2 laser. I'll be doing some detailed, honest reviews that outline the differences between these different types of machines. And you'll be able to see what's possible at different price points and capabilities. If that's valuable to you, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss those videos. And don't get discouraged by mistakes. I've been doing this for a while now, and I still mess up projects. It's part of the process. Every mistake teaches you something. I'm running a real laser engraving business with multiple machines, and everything I share here comes from actual daily usage. Not just some unboxing with my first impressions. I'm talking about real-world performance, long-term reliability, and honest pros and cons. Coming up, I've got full reviews of the xTool S1, the xTool F1 with IR laser capability, and the Thunder Nova CO2 laser. Plus beginner tutorials, advanced techniques, material comparisons, business tips, all of it. So hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss anything. This channel is going to be your go-to resource for laser engraving and maker tech. Drop a comment and tell me what laser you got for the holidays and what you want to make first. I read every comment and I'm interested in what everybody's working with. Also, let me know what you want to see reviewed. I want to make content that actually helps you. Welcome to the maker community and welcome to Maker Tech Workshop. Now go make something awesome. I'll see you in the next video.